Hi everybody, let me start by introducing to you what was my fish tank. And as far as fish tanks go, I thought it wasn't too bad, until I discovered aquascaping. And a couple of weeks after I did, I turned my home aquarium from this to this. So stick around and I'll show you exactly how I did it. The first thing I needed was a new tank. So I did my research and picked up this Den Earl 70 litre nano scrapers tank. And if you're doing your first ever aquascape, then I really recommend these tanks. They're not too big, they're not too expensive, and with the glass rounded corners, you get a pretty cool panoramic view. When it came to designing my tank, I knew I wanted some height at the back. So the cheapest way to achieve this was to make some sandbags, but instead of sand, put some volcanic rocks in there instead. This helps to improve water quality of your aquarium. To make the sandbags, I chopped the ends off a pair of tights or stockings, I filled them up and tied them off. Before I positioned the lava rock bags, I needed some substrate. This is used to line the bottom of your tank and is pretty good for the water. It retains the plant's roots, it ensures a good water circulation around the roots, and it's a means of storing and supplying vital minerals and nutrients. Time to pop on the lava rock bags, and I wanted them in the back corners where I needed extra height. Next in goes the aqua soil. I used a 9 litre bag of ADA Amazonia. For hardscaping, I chose rocks, as I wanted to create the look of a rocky island with cliffs on one side and a kind of tropical rainforest on the other. Make sure you keep a little bit of aqua soil to one side to top up once your hardscaping is done. I knew I wanted to include a little beach area at the front, so I kept this clear from aqua soil. Once I smoothed the landscape down, well, I realised I didn't like the rock at the front. But until you get your plants in, you can keep tweaking it until you are happy with the finished hardscape. With hardscape complete, it's time for the sand. This can just sit on top of my aqua soil because I don't plan on planting anything in the sand. And now for the tricky bit, the planting. First thing I needed to do was wet the soil. Then I split my plants up into small pieces and started planting. This is definitely harder than it looks, so take your time and make sure the plants are nestled nicely into the soil. I had read that moss can pretty much go anywhere in your aquascape tank, so I bought a little bit of aqua glue and popped my fire moss on top of a lava rock. So now it was time to fill her up, and I'd watched other videos where they gently pour the water on some bubble wrap and it fills up perfectly without disturbing any of the scape below. So what could possibly go wrong? Well, that can, and it messed up all my beautiful sand. But it turns out the bubble wrap was just too stiff, so don't make that mistake and just put a thin piece of bubble wrap down or just a plastic bag. Before you introduce any fish, make sure you treat your tap water, of course. I use Seachum Prime Conditioner in my water, which my fish have always thrived in. Before I introduced my fish to the tank, I let it settle for a couple of weeks to give the water time to mature, and more importantly, a chance for the plants to root into the soil and become more secure before the fish come and poke their noses in. To finish the look of the sunrise, I added a small LED strip at the back of the tank and pointed it at the white wall behind the tank, which completes my first attempt at aquascaping. Please let me know if you liked the video, and if you want to know which products I used, then I've listed them in the notes below.